and that has for every grade, so that's, the catechists aren't that thick, but
Okay.
ours are just because it's for everybody.
For everybody, sure.
And then if you scroll down, you should be able to see where people
Right here?
comment. Yeah.
Okay.
You might have to refresh the page
Okay.
because sometimes they don't refresh.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You want this plugged in too?
no.
Or no? Okay.
All right, and I think we are live. So, hello everyone. Thank you for logging on. We really appreciate you guys attending tonight's virtual session. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. If you can't hear me or if there's sound issues, please comment and we can try and fix that. But we thought we would welcome everyone with a prayer for back to school. So let's begin in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Gracious God, as the summer begins to fade, new possibilities lie on the horizon. Bless all of those who are beginning or returning to their roles as teachers and catechists, as well as those who lead and support them in their efforts. May this school year be a time of grace and potential as they teach, share, and challenge others to grow in faith, knowledge, and wisdom. Bless children and youth along with their parents as they begin a new school year. May their minds be open to learning and to the wonder of discovery and insight. Be with us all as we embark on this new year. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you all again for being here, and we want to welcome everyone. Again, if there are sound issues, please let us know, and we will try and fix those. So, how tonight is going to work, we hope not to take up too much of your time, but the first part of this, I'm going to kind of run through some of the details about our program and how the beginning of the year will work. And then the second part of the session tonight, I'm going to open it up for questions. So at that time, you guys can type in your questions and we will answer them live right now. So hopefully that works out for everyone. So I want to start by talking about the reason that we're doing virtual learning. And the reason for that, there's a lot of reasons, but a big reason is that we need to figure out how the cleaning of the building would happen between Sunday night and Monday morning before the Holy Angels school kids arrive in the building. And that is, believe it or not, a big issue with a lot of parishes who have religious ed programs. Maintenance is a huge part of how we can do things as a parish, and so we need to figure that out, as well as some other logistical details so that the building is safe for everyone to learn in. So that's one reason. Another reason is that I think we have a really strong virtual program. Obviously, this is the first time that we'll kind of be debuting this, but I think for the start of the year, putting all of our efforts into that was the best use of time for us to begin with. As things move forward, I could see it's getting ready to start in person, but I couldn't see us effectively running both things in the beginning of the year. So, especially because we have a lot of students signed up to do the at-home program, which is great. But yeah, so that was another issue that Brian and myself and Father talked about. So those are some reasons why we're starting virtually, and we thank you for your patience and your support with all of that as we begin. So the first thing, moving on, the first thing that I want to talk about is book pickup. I know a lot of you have questions about that. So we sent out our schedule back in July maybe of last year, and the schedule is pretty much the same. We haven't changed class dates or anything, and right now I'm just talking about K through 8th grade. We have not changed any of the class dates. The only thing that's slightly changing is September 13th. That was supposed to be our first class date, and I had written that we were going to have a teaching mass and have book pickup in classrooms. We will no longer have a teaching mass, but we will have book pickup. And how that will work is that we've split the families into 3 groups by last name. And based on your group, you're going to have a pickup time. And during that time, you'll drive up to the carport entrance of the church, and we will hand you all of the books that your children need for the year and folders and all that stuff. And you don't even need to get out of your car. Just drive through. We will hand that stuff to you, and you're good to go. So we won't have any kind of in-person or virtual class that night, September 13th. That will just be for book pickup. So the 3 different groups are families with the last names A through H. Your time is going to be from 6:15 to 6:35. So 6:15 to 6:35 is the time slot for families A through H. Families I through Q, your pickup time is 6:35 to 7 o'clock. So that is your pickup time, I through Q, 6:35 to 7 o'clock. R through Z is 7 o'clock to 7:30. So R through Z is 7 o'clock to 7:30. And then if for whatever reason you cannot make your pickup time, we just ask you to come at the very end, so closer to 7:20, 7:30, and we'll get you your stuff. That's just to make sure that we don't have, umpteen families driving through, waiting in super long lines. Hopefully, by splitting it up for these different times, we'll be able to get everybody moving and get them their stuff, and you won't have to wait super long. So that's the hope for that. And we'll go by the parents' last name. So if the parents have a different last name than their children, the parents' last name, whatever group that falls in, that's the time you're going to be coming. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so at that time you will get your books, your folders with all that information, and in those folders will be your first statement. So you will get your statements at that time. We will not be mailing out statements before the 13th. So don't worry about those statements. You'll get those on the 13th. Moving forward with the statements, normally Katie would send those out in the mail on the first or close to the first of the month. We will no longer be sending out statements in the mail. This is the age of electronics. So at the 13th, you'll get that piece of paper statement, but beyond that, you will be receiving statements via email. She will send those to your email. So please be checking your email for statements or just from other information. We're going to need to do a lot of communicating this year, and I know you guys are bombarded with emails. I totally get that, and I don't want to add to that, but at the same time, we need a good way to communicate with people, so please check your emails regularly for updates from us. That would really be the best way to help us out, is keep checking your email. So those are things that you'll receive on the 13th when you come pick up your stuff. So how is the year going to look? Obviously, we're starting online or virtually, and I want to walk through step by step how that is going to work. So, for K-5 students, I'm going to start with K-5. Actually, scratch that. Let me start as a whole. So every student will get a book of some kind, and they will be expected to do their book work, I'm calling it quote unquote, during the week. So Monday through Sunday afternoon, whenever they have time, complete that chapter in their books. Then Sunday nights, we're splitting the kids up into 3 groups, and they will sign on for about 20 minutes, and it's broken up by grade, and I'll get to that in a moment. It's broken up by grade, and it'll be a 20-minute check-in with their catechist, and I'll get to that. So that's the overview. Now let me break that down. So for K-5 students, they will have a Google Classroom set up with 1 video per chapter. So they'll get their book. This isn't the K-5 book, but they'll get their book and they'll open it up to whatever their chapter is. And there's a video for each chapter that I have created that's actually of me going through each lesson with the kindergartner. So it'll take them through the lesson. I read to them everything that's on the page and help them do all the activities. So if you want to do the lesson with your child, that's great. Then you don't need to have them watch the video. However, if you want that, you don't want another kind of burden. If you watch the video and have your child do the work in the book, they should be able to complete that independently, even if they don't know how to read, just because I walk everything through with them. And those videos range from like 10 to 20 minutes. It really depends on what the chapter is and what it's about. But I try to keep it engaging and fun, and they're always doing something. So that's what K-5 will look like. We're going to have to figure out how the whole Google Classroom thing is going to work. But most likely we'll be sending out the parents, if the students have access to have Google emails through school, that would be really helpful for us to know, but we're going to have to figure that out as to sending them like an invite to be part of the Google Classroom, and then all of their information is in there on the classroom. All 25 videos for the 25 chapters are already uploaded. So that's how that will work. For second graders, I'm going to skip to second grade. They will also have a Google Classroom. This year, the curriculum for our 1st through 5th graders has changed. And some of you know this. I'll get to that in a minute. I think I sent that out in an email. But all 2nd graders will be doing their prep for First Reconciliation and First Communion in class this year. They will also have some supplemental material that will go home with them at that First Communion meeting in October that they'll do with their families. But for the most part, what they're going to be doing in class is prep for those sacraments. So the 2nd graders will have a Google Classroom, and all of their chapters correspond to a lesson in Pear Deck. Some of you may have heard of Pear Deck before. Pear Deck is like an add-on for Google that basically you can create a virtual lesson through. So I have created them for all of the chapters. So it's a mixture of them, doing things, drawing pictures on the slide, doing matching on the on these different slides, and I have videos, short videos in between that kind of instruct them with what to do and do the teaching and that kind of thing. So there is a Pear Deck lesson for each of those chapters. Those are going to be really fun. I think the 2nd graders are really going to enjoy those. And again, they can complete those completely independently, even if they don't know how to read. For all of the lessons that are virtual, it's important that while they're doing it, they have their books open and ready. For our 1st graders and for our 3rd through 5th graders, they will complete their chapters in their books through these online modules. So our new curriculum is through St. Mary's Press, which is also the same curriculum that our middle schoolers use. and it's the same publishing company rather. And so our first graders and our third graders and our fourth graders and our fifth graders will complete their lessons through these online modules through the publishing site's company. So I have created usernames and login information for all of our students in those grades, and you will get an email with how to access those lessons online. And then there's a module online for each chapter, and they will go through and complete each chapter through the online module. Now, something new and kind of different about this curriculum is all of our first through fifth graders are going to get these Catholic children's Bibles. These come with every child's curriculum. So they'll have the Bibles, and they'll have these folders that look like this. This is the fifth grade folder. And to correspond to every lesson, rather than having a big textbook, there are these little activity packets, and this is the same for first through fifth grade. And this is where they would do their writing, is in these packets. And then for each chapter, there's a story in the Bible that they read. Now, with these online modules, there's a master catechist who takes them through the lesson, reads the Bible story to them, and they do some little activities online as well as these activities in their books. And it'll all make sense once you log into those and see them. But again, these are designed to be completed for our first through fifth graders, really our K-5 through fifth graders, so that they can do them completely independently, even if they don't know how to read. So that's one really nice thing about that I tried to really make possible for all of you, because I know that, you don't need this to be another burden when you already have so many other things going on. Now, obviously, we encourage you to do these lessons with your children if possible. I mean, that's the goal. Parents are the first teachers to their children. You guys are number one. They're going to look to you for everything about their faith. I know I still do with my parents, but we know that that's not always a possibility. And so these online resources are designed so that your children can complete the lessons independently if need be. So they'll get, kind of at the book pickup, they'll get these Bibles. This is our first through fifth graders. These folders, and they all will get a backpack that looks like this, that they will keep their folders and their Bibles in, so that it's all together, and they can just carry it that way. There are handles so that they can carry it this way, and that should make it really easy for them to do. So that is how that will work for them. For our 6th through 8th graders, this is going to be somewhat familiar if you've had a 6th through 8th grader before. They will be expected to read the chapter in their books, in their Catholic Connections handbooks. Now, if you had a 6th or a 7th grader last year in the program, they will be using that same book that they were given last year. That book is really long. It's 50 chapters, and it's designed to be completed over 3 years. So they will have that Catholic Connections handbook for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So for their book work, they will read whatever chapter it is that they're assigned, and they will take the corresponding online quiz, similar to what they did when we had to go virtual last spring. So those quizzes are about 9 or 10 questions each, and they also, the 6th through 8th graders, will have a Google Classroom where all of those quizzes are linked. So for each week, it'll have the date. They'll know which quiz to do. They can click it, complete it. That's it. So again, we'll be sending out. So everyone with a Google Classroom will be K-5, 2nd, and 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then our 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders will have their lessons through the publishing company, if that makes sense. So everybody, we're going to figure out how to enroll everybody in that Google Classroom. Just bear with us on that. So that's what they're going to be expected to do during the week. Again, that's Monday through Sunday afternoon whenever they have time. They will also receive in their folders on September 13th, they will receive a chapter guide. So they know, and this is anybody in the in-person program and at home, so that in the at-home program. So they'll know, oh, week 1 I have to do chapter 1, week 2 I have to do chapter 2, whatever. So they know which, you'll have that information in your folder, so you'll know which chapter to do each week for each grade. So that's how that will work. Now, on Sunday nights, I talked about those check-in sessions. Those sessions are designed to be 20 minutes. So for K5 through 2nd graders, their online check-in time will be from 6:15 to 6:35. So K through 2nd graders will log on from 6:15 to 6:35. How that will work is either Brian, Katie, or myself will send, an entire class a link for a Google Meet session. This will all be done through Google Meet. We're not going to use Zoom. We figured Google Meet will be the best way to do this because all of the West Bend kids in the West Bend school districts have access to Chromebooks and use all of the Google platforms for in school. So we figured we would just kind of keep it the same with faith formation, since that's something they're already familiar with. So you will get a link in your email. All they'll need to do is click the link and they'll be able to join the session. So either Brian, Katie, or myself will send that link to you. So K through 2nd graders, their time is from 6:15 to 6:35. 3rd through 5th graders, their time is from 6:40 to 7 o'clock. So 3rd through 5th graders, their online time is from 6:40 to 7 o'clock. 6th through 8th graders, their online time is from 7:05 to 7:25. So again, 6th through 8th graders, their 20-minute check-in time will be from 7:05 to 7:25. Now, these online sessions are designed to be short and sweet. The sessions for the K through 2nd graders, I've told the catechists that those should last no longer than 15 minutes. We have a 20-minute time window there, just in case people are late to log on or if there's issues or whatever. But I've told them, for those real little ones, no more than 15 minutes because we know they're not going to be able to expected to sit still for that long. That's a long time to be, staring at a screen. We certainly wouldn't want to go, the whole hour and 15 minutes online because that's just crazy. So no more than 15 minutes for those little ones. And then for the older ones, more like 15 to 20 minutes, especially for middle school. Those should be closer to 20 minutes, if that makes sense. So during those sessions, it really is meant to be a review. So we have catechists who will lead those. But Brian, Katie, and myself, one of us will also be in that Google Meet session as well, just to help with anything logistical or anything like that. So those are really meant to be a review and like a get to know ya, and for everybody to feel a sense of community. We've all been away from the parish for a while. Some of us have come back to Mass, but some of us haven't. And we at Holy Angels, we all feel that it's important to feel connected as a community. And so we're hoping that that's what these sessions will provide for the kids and for the catechists and parents. Parents are more than welcome to log on for those too, and be present. Please do. To feel a sense of community. So it's not going to be a lot of, me or another catechist just talking at the kids. It's going to be a lot of, let's go around and share what we learned, or let's go around and share, what our favorite thing about God's creation is, or something like that. So to get the kids sharing and excited about what they're learning and not lecture. So that kind of thing. That's what those sessions are designed to be. They'll kind of be talking about the lesson that they should have completed the week prior. So that's why it's important for them, if at all possible, to complete those lessons the week leading up to the Sunday night online session. Now, if they want to do it, 20 minutes before the session, that's up to them. They can use their time budgeted as they want to. But we just would ask that those chapters be done before they log on Sunday nights. And we will be able to monitor that through Google and through the publishing company's website. I think that's all the information that I have as far as our online and virtual session startup. Do we have any questions?
Not this one.
How many people are watching?
About 19.
Okay. All right. So if you have questions, this is the time that I would ask you guys to comment with those questions in the description or in the comment section, and I am happy to answer those right now. So please, if you have a question, please take a moment and do that. I will just say that a couple of things. We are looking for some catechists, so we do need a few. And for the virtual part of our year, I have created all of the lesson plans for that. So literally, this is what one of them looks like. Everything that you would need to say or ask is written down here. So that's basically all you would need to do. So if you are interested in that, we are looking for kind of our biggest need right now is someone to run kind of the online part for our 5th grade class. So if you have a 5th grader or you might be interested in helping with 5th grade, please let me know. We have 2 great ladies who have taught 5th grade for years, and when we go back in person, they will be taking the class and they'll be doing that, but we do need someone to help with our online part. So if you have interest in 5th grade, that's probably our biggest need right now. Please let me know.
How do I enroll my public school students grades 4 and 5?
In faith formation? Or?
I believe so.
Okay, so great, thank you for asking. So you can log on to our website, which is hawb.org/reled. So that's RELED. So hawb.org/RELED, and you can find our registration form on that website. And then what you'll do is you'll print it off and fill it out, and then you can either send that in to us, mail it in, or you can drop it off in our mail slot, which is directly to the left of the door of our parish office, and we will process that for you.
Can you repeat the times again for our meets on Sundays for 1st and 3rd grade?
Yes. So K through 2nd graders, so the 1st grade time would be from 6:15 to 6:35. So 1st grade will be 6:15 to 6:35. Then our 3rd grade sessions, all of our 3rd through 5th graders, will run from 6:40 to 7 o'clock. So that's 6:40 to 7 o'clock. If you do have to share devices, there is a nice 5-minute window in there, so you can quickly hand over the laptop or whatever. I do know that if your child is in the West Bend School District, everyone should be getting a Chromebook this year. So those Chromebooks will work really well for the work that they'll have to do. Either for the Google Meets, they'll work for those. They'll also work for anything that your child has to do in the Google Classrooms, or even for the work on the publishing website from St. Mary's Press. It'll work for all of that stuff. So hopefully each child will have access to their own Chromebook through the school district.
Will the catechist get books at the pickup or at a different time?
So if you're a catechist, if you have already stated your interest in being a catechist, I sent everyone an email last week and asked them what was the best time for them to come in and pick up their stuff. So preferably I would like to meet with you at another time if you're interested in being a catechist. If you could send me an email or we could set it up right here and set up a meeting for next week, that would be great, and I will go through the book with you and some of this information. So just let me know and I'll set up a time with you next week.
For those that signed up to volunteer as classroom helpers or their aides, is there anything that we can or should be doing during this virtual faith formation format?
Yes. So I should have sent all of those people, those classroom helpers, an email last week and asked them when would be a good time to come in and meet with me. I would love it if you would send me an email and let me know when next week would be a good time for you to come in and meet, and I can give you a binder that looks like this, as well as a copy of our catechist manuals. And if you were able to be present for those Google Meets and to help, you can communicate with whoever the lead teacher is and see if you want to trade off any of the what's to be said during the virtual sessions, or just to be there to just help with that. That would be great. So yeah, like I said, one time next week to meet and get materials.
Another question, someone logged in a little late. How can they view the first 10 minutes or so of this video?
When we stop recording, the video will be able to be viewed in its entirety on our Facebook page. I will also be sending out a version of this, a copy of this video in a flock note tomorrow. So everyone will get to view the whole video from start to end tomorrow in the flock note. Otherwise, look at it after we're done recording and you should be able to watch the first 10 minutes on the page.
That's all we have for now.
Okay. Any more questions, please send those in. If there are any catechists out there watching, I would like to meet with everyone next week, Thursday night at 6 o'clock in the parish, in the church basement. So I'll send that out in an email. But for those of you who are catechists who have not picked up their stuff yet, if you want to wait until next Thursday at 6 o'clock to meet, that's great, and I can get you all that information. And at that session, I'm going to be going through some more details, as well as showing everybody the online portion of this and getting people comfortable with the Google Meet part of our year. So I'll be sending that out, but that's just so you know.
Keep saying live video interrupted. I don't know. Does it still record what you're saying, or does it?
I think so. Did you try refreshing?
I'll do that now. Only down to 5 people watching now.
Oh. Well, hopefully the rest of that was recorded. If there are any catechists out there, I'm trying to think about what I talked about in the last few minutes. If there are any catechists or people who signed up to be classroom helpers or aides out there, please send me an email and we'll connect. And we'll set up a time for you to come in and get your stuff and talk with me before the 13th. I'll just say the time slots again. The Sunday night check-ins will be from 6:15 to 6:35 for our K through 2nd graders. 3rd through 5th graders time will run from 6:40 to 7 o'clock. And 6th through 8th graders time slot will run from 7:05 to 7:25. I forgot to say that all of our at-home students, so our students who have signed up for the at-home program, will be expected to do this. So that everybody's on the same page. You know, we've kind of upped our game with this new curriculum and this new virtual learning. So all of our students will be expected to do this, whether you're signed up for in person or at home. So that's that.
So, I'm hoping it's still recording, but
Dang. We're sorry.
another question: someone logged in a little late. How can they view the first 10 minutes or so of this video?
That's still says we're live.
Yeah, it's still counting us on here now, so hopefully they got those last pieces.
All right. Hopefully you got those last couple of things. Hopefully we're still live and you're still able to see us. I think that's all the information I have for tonight. I'm sorry that we're having technical issues. If you have any more questions, please feel free to shoot me an email or respond to the Flock note or give me a call, and I will be happy to answer those for you. I will be, like I said, I will be sending this video out, a copy of this video out tomorrow in a Flock note, so everybody can watch it from start to end. And I think that's all we have for today. So thank you for watching, and we will see you very soon.